Hey, good morning. Welcome to American Reversion. I'm Steve Smith. It's a beautiful day here. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. We have some unbeautiful things to talk about today, but with a beautiful idea in mind, and that is trying to get our country back to the way it ought to be. Um, Welcome to all the new people. Welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you very much for being here. We ask that you hit that thumbs up, that like, and subscribe. Make sure that you're subscribed. Share this with your friends, because the more people that we get this out to, the more we're able to do. And our purpose is to not just inform the people who are already in the loop, but try to get some more people in that loop and interested and concerned about what's going on. And a couple of our stories today are going to illustrate exactly why that is so important. Also, thank you so much for those of you who are supporting us over on Patreon. Our patrons, your support helps us do more here, and I see that growing, and we appreciate it more than we can say, and all of the support there will go towards supporting and furthering our efforts here. For those of you who don't know what that is, if you want to support our channel, we appreciate it. The link to our Patreon channel is down here. You can come and pledge your dollar or whatever. A lot of people pledging more than that. We can't begin to tell you how much we appreciate that. You all do what you want, whatever you think is right. Be a part of this effort with us. Okay. Oh boy, you cannot make this stuff up, right? And I'll tell you what, I've got all sorts of things. Usually I kind of try to lay them out in some kind of order, but I've been a few days behind, and there's some things that got taken off the list and things that I wanted to get back in, and it's not as organized as I would like. But don't worry, it'll be as crazy as usual. I need to do what Rush used to do. I need to print them all out so I can get them and rattle some paper and let everybody know that I'm looking fervently for what I'm wanting to talk about next, and or maybe what would be better is just to have everything in order, right? Okay, but I'll do my best today. I woke up. Well, I didn't wake up. I did wake up, thankfully, today. But a little bit after I woke up, I started getting a couple of texts from people. One from Kelly, I think it was. Yeah, I think the original came from her, texting to our group this story. I don't doubt whatever she texts, but I have to stop finding things difficult to believe, don't I? I mean, every day it's something new. But remember, through the years, everything that we've joked about, that'll never happen. And here we are, right? The jokes of yesterday become the realities of today. So this headline here, where's this from? Where is this from? Well, it's from FEMA. Okay. It's actually from Twitchy, but it refers to the FEMA website. Okay, we're all concerned with nuclear war, right? Nuclear war, because those dirty Ruskies are, taking over the world. We're going to get back to that later on today, in this half hour, and so everybody's afraid because Vlad the Impaler is starting to act crazy, and he's saying that he's going to nuke people. He never said that, but that's the first casualty of war is the truth, right? And we're also getting back to that. So everybody's worried about nuclear war, and of course they're going to come out with more of these things for us to be afraid of on a daily basis. As we get tired of the old things that we had to be afraid of, as we start to forget those, we will replace them with new things to be afraid of. And this is the latest one, and that's nuclear war. That in just any moment, you could be vaporized by Vladimir. But FEMA wants us to be safe, and so they have put out this directive, and they say, in case of a nuclear explosion, try to keep 6 feet social distance and wear a mask for COVID. That's right. That's right. So as you go down into your bomb shelter or your basement or, wherever it is that's right, They said that Americans, in the event of a nuclear explosion, um, I guess as soon as you get somewhere that you feel to be safe, but not within 6 feet of anyone else trying to get to someplace to be safe, make sure that you get that mask on. Remember the mask there have been so many studies done about the effectiveness of that mask, which all the studies revealed that I better stop there, hadn't I? Yeah. Yeah, that mask. The mask that doesn't stop you from, smelling the gas station restroom when you walk into it, but will protect you from the most deadly of diseases. And you keep 6 feet away from other people. And boy, you better be careful if you don't, because somebody will tell you all about it. I walked into a post office today to mail some books to some people who had bought autographed books. And by the way, I'm still waiting for the big load to come in, and I'll announce when you all can order autographed books for those of you who want to. I walked in there, and there was a line just clear out to the outside doors almost, and I stepped through, and this woman turned around on me, masked, of course. I think she might have been double masked. So she was both the Lone Ranger and Zorro. And she said, "Step away from me." I said, "What?" I mean, I was not close to her. I wasn't encroaching on her personal space. "Step back right now." I said, "What?" She says, "We are trying to maintain social distancing here." I said, "Oh, that's silly. I don't do that." Well, it kind of escalated a little bit. It was funny. I won't make you listen to the whole thing, but she was very disgusted with me. So anyway, you make sure that in the case of that big flash, on the horizon, that as you scurry down into your hole, grab that mask, make sure that everybody going down the ladder or the stairway is maintaining their social distancing, because we don't want anybody to survive a nuclear attack and then get the sniffles. Right? Okay. What I want to talk about, Christmas. For those of you, and I don't mean you, I mean for those who happen to be wandering by, and there's always a couple who will come on and try to chastise me. For those of you who don't believe that voting is important, who come around and cross our paths occasionally just to take that little drive-by shot, right? Usually in the form of, if you believe that voting works, you are an idiot. Something to that effect, right? And in their cynical superiority, assuring those of us who still try to maintain some kind of activity within the political process, as opposed to going to the next step or just curling up in a ball and hiding, we shouldn't be involved in that because we're stupid and it will never work. Well, let me put a couple of things out here. Vermont, it's interesting. The party that has destroyed this country, as opposed to the party that has helped destroy this country, right? They think that voting matters, and they've been very successful at it. And because more and more people of a particular bent are throwing up their hands and saying, voting doesn't matter, politics doesn't matter, just look what happened with the last election or the one before that or one before that or whatever, Well, the other side doesn't believe that, and they don't believe it to the extent that a Vermont town, or several Vermont towns actually, are now opening voting to foreign nationals. How about that? Offering ballots in foreign languages. I don't know. I'm going to take the time to find out exactly what these towns are, but not that it matters since most of us won't be in or around or going to Vermont. Okay, a pair of Vermont towns. Oh, yeah. I'll probably mispronounce this. I've only heard it pronounced maybe twice in my life. Montpelier, the state's capital, that I don't know I've ever heard of before since high school geography, and Winooski. They are set to hold local elections where, for the first time, foreign nationals will be able to vote. In Montpelier, city officials said one foreign national has registered to vote, while about 8 foreign nationals have registered in Winooski. Well, obviously, it was a huge problem, right? Obviously, it was something that needed to be done because that one person in Montpelier, who's not a citizen, was underrepresented, right? Well, you know where I think they probably would be represented? Well, back in their own country. What do you think? But you know what? Probably back in their own country. I don't know, have any idea what country they came. Oh, yeah, here we go. Well, no. That was Julian Mugisha moved to Winooski from the Democratic Republic of Congo. You know what it means when a country's name starts with the Democratic Republic, right? Yeah. The Winooski resident, Julian Mugisha, is registered to vote and spoke to us through an interpreter. Well, obviously, she's going to be well-versed in all the issues that will enable her to intelligently cast a vote right here, because she's using an interpreter, not apparently speaking English in an English-speaking country. She says she is just very excited that this door is now open for her and other people who are not. Okay, they put in one of those 6 here, who are not non-citizens, who are not citizens. Okay, and that it feels incredible to be able to vote for leaders and have support from the community. That's the problem. The problem is not Julianne. The problem is the community that thinks for some reason this is just okie dokie and will allow people who come into our country, who aren't citizens, who can't speak the language, to participate in the political process. So you guys out there, hey, I know none of you feel this way, but you can send this to any of your friends that feel this way, and they can hate on me, right? Yeah, guess what? The other side thinks that voting matters, and that's why they have driven our country into the ditch, and that's why you haven't been helping us keep it out. All right, let's go to the next here, the next idiotic thing. Before we get to some more, well, yes, I mean this is serious stuff. Okay, Biden to divert agents from the U.S. southern border, that would be our border with Mexico, to send them to assist with the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Yeah, I said that. That's right. Biden's administration is looking to divert United States Border Patrol agents from their mission at the U.S.-Mexico border. I'm not sure what their mission has evolved into. Is it giving the big Olay, instead of catching people? I don't know. I know the guys down there want to do their jobs. There's good guys down there. I have an old friend of mine who went down after he got out of the Army to train Border Patrol tactical units. Maybe I'll give him a call. I just got a call from another friend of ours, mutual friend, giving me his new phone number. So maybe I'll give him a call and see and get the information from the horse's mouth. So they're looking to divert the United States Border Patrol agents from their mission at the U.S.-Mexico border to send them overseas to assist. Assist is like advise. Those fleeing from Ukraine amidst Russia's invasion, a new report states. Okay, so we've got people, we've got cartel, we've got human smuggling, we've got fentanyl, we have got everything flowing almost unimpeded over our southern border. But we need to go secure the Ukrainian border. Okay, okay. John Solomon at Just the News, who exclusively obtained the Customs and Border Protection CBP memo, detailed the effort dubbed Operation Support Ukraine. There will probably be a patch made up for that. Operation Support Ukraine. It says here, the Office of Field Operations is seeking volunteers to assist with the possible evacuation of U.S. citizens, lawful permanent residents, and their immediate family members from Ukraine, the memo sent to Field Operations executives said. Eligible employees who volunteer for this situation may be selected to, quote, serve a temporary duty assignment in Poland to facilitate travelers for entry into the U.S. I'm waiting for all the border jumpers down south to be called travelers. To facilitate travelers for entry into the U.S. to include providing guidance and problems resolutions to other government agencies. The memo said volunteers need to be ready to deploy within 2 to 3 days of selection and should plan for about a month's work overseas. It also offered a plan. Here's the important part. It also offered a plan for COVID-19 mitigation that said workers need to either have the vaccine or natural immunity from a recent infection. Well, that's an improvement, right? But still, that good old C-19 is ever present at the tip of our operational spear. What's next? What is next here? Ah, yes. The idiot up north. The little guy up north who, pounded those soy shots for so long that I can barely tell exactly what he is. Well, he has proposed a law that would penalize. I was just talking to Kelly the other night. I said, you know what, one word that just irritates me to death, and it's because I started hearing my teachers say it in high school, and that's penalize. Do you all say penalize? I don't want to offend anybody here because everyone here is a fine person, right? So if you say penalize, it's fine, but I was raised saying penalize, right? Like penalty, right? I know they get it from the penal system, but, penal just sounds too penal. So I'm going to say penalize because it makes me feel less icky. So they want to penalize intent to commit online hate speech. Not committing, but intending to. Let's read about this for just a second. Legislation making its way through the Canadian Parliament would allow citizens to be taken to court and penalized if they are suspected of simply intending to post hate speech online. I see his picture, the little guy's picture just popped up here, and you know what he reminds me of? Those of you who are older are going to know what I'm referring to. Those of you who are younger, look it up on YouTube. You ever watch the Lumberjack song by Monty Python? Nah, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Okay. If some of you older people are laughing right now, and some of you younger people, if you want a little laugh, go look it up. Monty Python Lumberjack song. Okay, the proposed law encourages Canadians to report other Canadians to the authorities for intent to post hate speech online and allows courts to punish Canadian citizens for things they haven't done yet. Let me come down here for just a second. I'll read. It seemed like there was okay, here we go. Under the some of this may be a repeat, but I'm going to go into a secondary paragraph that's not. Under the proposed law, provincial courts may add penalties that they consider desirable to secure the good conduct of the defendant, including having the defendant wear an electronic monitoring device, confining them to their home or place of residence at set times, and prohibiting them from consuming alcohol. You were thinking about making a mean tweet. You can't have a drink tonight. If a Canadian citizen, now I'm presuming something here. It says Canadian citizen. So can we assume that this does not apply to any foreign nationals or any travelers, right? I mean, it would make total sense, wouldn't it? It's only the citizens that they're after because everybody else is good. Okay, if a Canadian citizen, starting quotes, fears on reasonable grounds that another person will commit, end quote, hate speech online or, quote, an offense motivated by bias, prejudice, or hate based on race, national or ethnic origin, a language, color, religion, sex, age, mental or physical disability, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, or any other similar factor. My Lord, what could be similar factors to that? I don't like chipped beef. Does that, SOS? Does that qualify me? I mean, I feel threatened whenever I see a plate of that coming at me. So any of these things, they may lay the information before a Canadian court. The bill defines online hate speech as, quote, a discriminatory practice to communicate or cause to be communicated hate speech by means of the internet or other means of telecommunication in a context in which the hate speech is likely to foment detestation, such as, I detest them, detestation, or vilification of an individual or group or individuals on the basis of a prohibited ground of discrimination. Okay, so now its intent is illegal. This isn't funny. I mean, I'm making it funny, but it's just like all those things that we said in the past that we joked around about. I remember sitting in a patrol car out in the dark, 2:00 in the morning, pulled up next to the deputy sheriff who came up and talked to me for a while, and we'd be shaking our heads. This was back in the 70s, shaking our heads and says, "Can you believe what happened? Pretty soon they'll make it illegal to such and such." And that's a long time ago. And those things just seemed normal to people who have been born since 1980, back when we were saying it'll never happen, Okay, so it is illegal now to have intent to commit hate speech online. Pretty soon it'll be illegal to commit hate speech just in the ether. And pretty soon you better watch out about your dreams, because if they get inside your dreams and they suspect some hate speech in there, oh man, are you in trouble? Okay. Let's see how we're doing on time here. I've got a few more things here to do, but I'm going to do the two more important things here. And then if we get in the others, we will. Okay. Senator Josh Hawley. What happened here? What happened to my computer? Don't leave us yet. We want to give you 68% off of something or other. I don't want 60% off. Okay. Josh Hawley, a senator from the neighboring state of Missouri. Missouri, that's because I wasn't born there. A state that I love, and a senator that I respect. I have some friends who don't like him. I'm not sure why. They are not as conservative as I, and they are lawyers. Maybe they know some things about him that I don't, but I don't care. I like him. Everything that I've seen him do, for the most part, I like. And if there's anybody out there, I want to say this. If there's anybody out there who disagrees with something like this, I get it. Not everybody has the same exact political feelings. So say, for instance, let's just use Josh I say Josh as if I know him, my buddy Josh. Let's just use Josh as an example. If you all don't like Josh and you have a reason for that, I don't mind you sharing that at all. As a matter of fact, I welcome it. I encourage you to share it. Say, here's what I don't like about him, because he supported this or that or the other thing or whatever. But not just because he's horrible. You can't trust him. He's an idiot. No. if you want to contribute, and I want you to contribute. I want people to contribute. Back it up. I don't allow drive-by, and then you're gone. You're an idiot. They're an idiot. Okay? No. Go ahead and feel free. Put the information in there. Put something that we can back it up, that we can see. I'm all for that. I am after the truth. I base my opinion on truth. I have opinions, but I base them on what I think to be true at the time. That can change. Anyway, you get the gist. Senator Josh Hawley. Where does this come from? This comes from the Epic Times. Senator Josh Hawley proposes Congress reopen U.S. energy production full throttle. That's the headline. The subhead is this: White House says focus should instead be on reducing our dependence on oil, using the strength of the Jimmy Carter doctrine. Put on a sweater, lower your thermostat, lower your head, accept what's done to you, because America is not a great country, right? We have just been terrible. That's part of the Obama doctrine too, isn't it? And the Clinton doctrine. And the Biden doctrine. Okay. That's all you need to know. Hey guys, those of you who think that voting doesn't matter, let me read those to you one more time. Senator Josh Hawley, Republican. And I'm not a Republican. I'll say that right now. I'm independent. I am a conservative. But I can't remember the last time that I voted for a Democrat. Senator Josh Hawley proposes Congress reopen U.S. energy production full throttle. Okay, Republican. What's going to be the result on that? Again, energy independence like we had under Trump. Cheaper gas, which brings down the prices of everything. Does that matter to you? Does it matter to you at all that you're spending less money on fuel, that you're spending less money on anything that you buy because it all came on a truck? Okay, a stabilization of our economy. We become an exporter of energy as opposed to an importer of energy. Does that matter? Because that does matter. And if you don't realize that it matters, you need to go to school. So that's a result of Republican Josh Hawley. Drill, baby, drill, right? More jobs, lower gas prices, energy independence, which results in national security. As opposed to, the White House says focus should instead be on reducing our dependence on oil. And what is that? Okay, you want an electric car? Where do you think that energy comes from? It doesn't come from a wind farm. Wind farms don't. How are we doing? Oh man, I better close this out. Wind farms don't produce enough to do that. Well, someday they will. Not in your lifetime. I could go into that because I actually know people in the business. But that'll have to wait for another time. And to close this out, so that's why voting matters. And to close this out, the CPAC straw poll, Trump wins with 59%. 59%. DeSantis came in less than half. I can't remember. Let's see if it's got his figures in here. Yep. He came in at 28%. So anybody who thinks that there's going to be a big fight for the Republican nomination, I don't think so. DeSantis, who I like, by the way, who was not a Navy SEAL. I've heard people say he was a Navy SEAL. No, he was not. He was with JAG, and he was assigned to a SEAL team, kind of send JAG around and make sure they do everything right. But I like him. I like DeSantis a lot. But I don't think he's the guy for this. We need a fighter, and Trump's a fighter. You may not like him. You may not like his mean tweets. You may not like some things about him. Whatever. But he did 59% in the straw poll. And if there's anybody who's going to take, I don't know if the swamp can ever be drained. But if anybody going to try again, it'll be him. And anyway, DeSantis is less than half his. Okay, I'm going to conclude it with that. Thank you all for being here today. We'll be back tomorrow. If you'd like to support us in this, I remind you, just go down and join us as a patron over on Patreon. We'd love to have you. And put your comments down below, because I see that we're getting a lot more comments, and I love reading them, and I think everybody else does too. So remember, America needs a reversion. It needs you to be a part of it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.